RIP Warzone. After 3 years of making incredible memories on the best battle royale game ever, Call of Duty Warzone is being shut down permanently on September 21st this year. And what could possibly be the extremely pressing matter that is causing this permanent shutdown of Call of Duty Warzone?
Because I said so.
Now look, I don't typically post videos to the main channel on Friday. I typically make something for Nerd Plays, but I have to talk about this because this is some really juicy news coming from Call of Duty. Even as someone who doesn't regularly play that much Warzone, like when it comes to the latest Warzone 2, I mean, we can't even call that now because they've actually taken away the 2, which we'll get into in a bit. But yes, as far as it goes for the current Warzone experience, I mostly just kind of play Plunder every so often. It's actually pretty good for XP and Battle Pass progression, but I'm not like super into Warzone 2 and the gameplay experience. So yeah, that's coming from the perspective of someone who only kind of casually plays Warzone every so often. So I can't even imagine how the people who actually like to play Warzone are feeling right now. If you haven't really kept up with Warzone in the last couple of months or so, a lot of people have actually moved back to the original Warzone. I think it's Warzone Caldera. They went from Warzone 2 back to that just because it's more fun to play. They like the movement, they like the feeling of the game. And ironically enough, I actually made a video last year called RIP Warzone because they were vaulting content that people actually liked to play in the original Warzone to make it look less appealing in comparison to Warzone 2, so that way Warzone 2 would have a better launch and a better chance at success. Well, now we know how that went. Did not go as planned. From the outside looking in, it looks like the Warzone 2 community has basically not really been vibing with that game and that experience. So naturally, it would make sense for Call of Duty to do whatever they can to actually listen to the players, listen to the community, and actually make some meaningful changes to make Warzone 2 better. Right? No. Instead, we got this tweet from Call of Duty saying, as Warzone moves ahead with exciting new experiences to come, Warzone Caldera will shut down on September 21st. All Caldera gameplay, player progression, inventories, and online services will expire on that date. Click here to learn more. Oh, we're clicking. Can't wait to see what kind of amazing excuse they're gonna come up with. But for real, I know that Call of Duty and Activision have been catching a lot of heat lately, so let's try to hear them out. Let's see what kind of reason they might give in this blog post. Because if we don't read through this and we don't analyze it, then we're just gonna be left speculating as to why they decided to, shut down Warzone forever. So here's what it says. An update on Call of Duty Warzone Caldera. It's going away in a couple of months. Why is there a play free now button? Anyway, it says here, as Warzone moves ahead with exciting new experiences to come, Warzone Caldera will shut down on September 21st, 2023. All Caldera gameplay, player progression, inventories, and online services will expire on that date. Interesting choice of word there, Call of Duty. Expire on that date. Call of Duty Warzone will expire on that date. Like it's milk. We're treating Call of Duty like it's milk now. It's not being shut down by the company that makes it. No, it's going bad. It's expiring. You only got a couple of months left. What in the As of September 21st, 2023, Call of Duty Warzone Caldera will shut down as our teams focus on future Call of Duty content, including the current Warzone free-to-play experience. Yeah, okay, so it's starting to make a little bit more sense. I mean, Call of Duty and Activision and all the developers, it's a small indie team of, like 5 people, so I don't think they really have the resources to keep the servers alive. We all have had incredible Warzone experiences across the Call of Duty franchise since its first launch, including those in Warzone Caldera. But fuck you, we're getting rid of it. For those players who haven't slide canceled over to the current Warzone activities, expect a vast amount of gameplay choices across 3 Battle Royale maps, including Season 4's new map Vondelhar, as well as ranked play, the DMZ beta featuring 5 different extraction zones,
black cell offerings,
and more. Yeah, okay, I think we're starting to get a clearer picture here of what's going on. Without a doubt, Call of Duty is 100% salty that people are going back and playing an older Call of Duty experience instead of getting on the new one, which people do not like. It should be more obvious than ever, man. I mean, they sent the cease and desist to X Labs and SM2, and at first we thought that maybe it's because they were not, completely following the rules, but now it really just seems like they don't want you to be playing anything other than the current Call of Duty experience. And I gotta hand it to them. They're really doing their best to try to make it seem like the current Warzone experience, Warzone 2 DMZ is actually good. But if you have been keeping up with things, you know that the Warzone 2 gameplay is not the same as the original Warzone's gameplay, and that it's more obvious than ever that their main focus for this current Call of Duty game is really to just sell microtransactions, to sell bundles, and really to push that Black Cell Battle Pass. Now, to be fair, in terms of actual content, having a ranked play mode and having a bunch of different skins, then yeah, the current Warzone experience is definitely winning. But when it comes to the actual actual gameplay, you know, the thing that we have to play, I think a lot of people would argue that it's not as good as the original Warzone. Players should prepare for even more Warzone content across consoles and PC, as well as a new era, oh boy, we're using that again, of Battle Royale on the go with the launch of Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, which includes a shared battle pass and cross progression. That is actually huge, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But to finish it up, it says the Call of Duty team and studios look forward to sharing more details soon. And to be honest, I'm sure they are excited to share more details because this is actually pretty big news when it comes to Warzone. It seems like recently we've seen a shift when it comes to Warzone 2. I mean, they quite literally took off the number 2 off of the end, and they're now just referring to the current experience as Call of Duty Warzone. When I first saw that, I was like, okay, the new Call of Duty logo they made is like Minecraft blockety blooks, and it's kind of ugly, and the Warzone logo is not that great either. But there is a slight chance that this is more than just a graphic design change. Because when they eventually release Call of Duty Warzone Mobile later on in the year, from like pre-alpha and beta gameplay of Warzone Mobile, people have been playing on Verdansk. So there's a lot of speculation that Verdansk could actually come back. Now, I don't think it's going to come back in Modern Warfare 2 because they've kind of mixed things around. But since it says that Warzone Mobile is going to have a shared battle pass and cross progression with the main Call of Duty game at that point in time, which it's kind of implied, there could actually be a pretty good chance that Modern Warfare 3 2023, which is the rumored game to come out later this year, could actually launch with the original Verdansk, and it's going to have shared progression with Warzone Mobile. Now, that is actually some pretty interesting news. Granted, it's just my speculation. That's not fact, but that is what I'm gonna guess. So please don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but even then, we don't know what the gameplay changes are gonna be like. We don't know how Warzone Mobile is gonna play, or how Modern Warfare 3 2023 is gonna play, or the future of how Call of Duty Warzone will play as well. So while the possibilities are actually really interesting, just take all of that with the tiniest grain of salt possible. Now, if you're someone who played the original Call of Duty Warzone, Warzone Cold War, or Warzone Caldera, this next part is really gonna sting if you actually spent any money on the skins at that point in time. It says here, regarding purchase content in Warzone Caldera from Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, or Vanguard, that will continue to be accessible in those specific games. But when it comes to Warzone, none of your purchases, your guns, your blueprints, your skins, none of that stuff is going to move or transfer from Warzone Caldera to any kind of future Warzone experience. So all of that money you spent was wasted. Unless, of course, you already own Modern Warfare 2019 or Cold War or Vanguard and you still play those games, then yeah, it's not that big of a hit. But if you are someone who only plays Warzone, you just lost out big time. It weirdly kind of feels like this is a move to try to get people to buy those specific games to try to bump up sales and make people not feel as bad for losing all of those potential blueprints and skins. But my god, man, if this isn't a wake-up call to stop spending money on the store and stop wasting your money on skins and blueprints, then I don't know what is. Because they are using the terminology that this stuff is expiring. They're not even taking responsibility for this or trying to say that they're shutting it down permanently. They're kind of gaslighting all of us, and they're trying to make us believe that it's just going bad, it's expiring. What in the dude? What is wrong with gaming in 2023, man? But let's keep reading on. Please note that the Warzone Caldera shutdown has no impact to current Warzone gameplay. Oh, thank goodness. Inventory or player progression in Al Mazrah or the other available maps, and we look forward to continuing with you in that new Warzone experience. That right there is their nicest way of saying, give up on the past, you wasted your money, go spend more of it on the newest game. Wow. So unbelievably shameless. And then they ended here with saying, thank you to the Call of Duty community and to our developers for making Call of Duty Warzone an amazing place to play together. You know what? You guys are not doing amazing right now. People who solely played the free-to-play Warzone experience over the last 3 years before this current one have now all just been screwed out of a lot of money and a lot of time poured into that experience. You're shutting it down for no reason. There is not one good, solid reason as to why it's being shut down other than go play the newest one because we need more players, we need more money. And to continue off of that, if you really want to make Call of Duty Warzone an amazing place to play together, then make it good. Listen to the community, listen to the feedback. They've been giving it to you guys left and right. Now, I will admit, from season to season, things have slowly, incrementally gotten better, ever so slightly for Warzone 2, with different things being added and some slight changes being made here and there, but they're not really fully trying to make it what a lot of people want to see. And that especially goes for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, even though that's not really, you know, a big part of the conversation right now. But I gotta be perfectly honest though, this whole announcement right here is terrible and unnecessary. Blackout from Black Ops 4 is even older than this, but that's not being shut down. Why is that not expiring? Is it possible that not as many people are playing Blackout compared to Warzone? Possibly. Maybe they don't care as much about Black Ops 4 and Blackout because they can still sell supply drops and other kinds of things in the store on that game. It's a possibility, but regardless of whatever we try to speculate or whatever kind of conclusions we try to come to, facts are facts. They're shutting down Call of Duty Warzone Caldera. The last 3 years, coming from Modern Warfare 2019 to Cold War to Vanguard, all of that is being shut down. It is not expiring. They are making a deliberate decision to kill this off so that way they can put more of their attention into Warzone Mobile and whatever we're going to be seeing with Warzone going forward. But vastly more importantly, they want you to stop playing Warzone Caldera and just move on to whatever is currently being offered up. They are making a tactical business decision to close down an older Call of Duty experience and forcing you, literally forcing you to get off of Warzone Caldera and go play the new one. I really don't know what else to say, man. I mean, it feels like it's been nothing but downhill for Call of Duty as of lately, but I don't want you guys to be too extra depressed. There actually is one good solid piece of news coming out as of lately, actually pertaining to Black Ops Cold War. They apparently released a security patch that will fix all of those vulnerabilities that we were talking about over like the last couple of weeks. Now, I can't personally verify this because I haven't been on Black Ops Cold War since any of this stuff has been going on, because I'm probably someone who could get targeted and have a lot of bad things happen on that game. But if the official Call of Duty Updates Twitter account is saying that the security patch has gone live and that it's safe to play again, then I think we might be able to trust them. I hope. And as far as it goes for the future of Call of Duty Warzone, really the only positive outcome that I can see happening from all of this is that going forward, they essentially remaster the original Verdansk map from Modern Warfare 2019 and the first Warzone, and they revert a lot of the gameplay changes that people don't like in Warzone 2 back to how it was. Maybe that's the reasoning for the rebrands, maybe that's why they're doing all of this. It is just speculation for now, but I think that's what a lot of us would like to actually see. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me cover the latest Warzone news. It is really sad to see Warzone, the first 3 years of what a lot of people really liked about Call of Duty Warzone and their Battle Royale experience. It is sad to see that go for no good reason at all. But either way, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did and you want Warzone to actually get better over time, make sure to drop a like. I'll see you guys later.
Outcome, Tranquil.